Go.
Hi everyone, I'm Robin Gully, City Council member in Ward 2.
Yep, John Justin, City Council in Ward 2 in the darkness because winter is coming.
Got me. And this is your council recap. So today in open council work session.
We saw the diagrams from the architect, which is Wold, I believe, on the ideas for the City Hall renovation, which are mostly concentrated in the staff area. And it looks like a lot of improvement in workflow is a big thing, fixing some problems that are there. We have leaks that we have to fix, changing over to LED lighting to be energy efficient, changing kind of the entrance point to the help desk that's in there, which I think hopefully becoming more welcoming, so people feel like they can come in and get right to somebody. And then some other less thrilling changes, but it looks really good from what I see. We've got a budget that seems reasonable. We've been kind of controlling, we didn't build a new city hall, which at one point was on the docket, and as a result, we can spend the money that we're spending on this without having the burden that a full reconstruction would have taken. We've already done the police section. Now we're doing the staff and office section, and we've done stuff in the chambers. So we're kind of finishing up, and looks really good to my eyes. I'm no architect, but it seems like it makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really nice, and we've heard that the staff are excited about it.
Yes,
so that matters more than just about anything, because they spend a lot of time here.
Yep.
We talked about Thompson and Oakdale Sidewalk project. So in a couple of years, the county is going to turn Thompson Avenue back over to the city of West St. Paul. But our agreement on that says that they're going to do a bunch of renovations on Thompson Avenue before they turn it back to us. So part of that is putting in sidewalks. So on October 5th, there's going to be an open house to talk about the renovations on the road. And then...
and that's at the Dakota Lodge at Thompson Park.
There you go. Thank you, Julie.
Terrible with names, I apologize.
5 to 7 p.m.
Oh, 5 to 7. That's a time and place is always important on these things.
I want to say that we really depend on Julie being our cinematographer so that she can fill in the details.
Fact checker.
Slash fact checker. So.
Wrangler and director.
Okay, so that was most of the open council work session. Once we got to council meeting, do you want to talk about that?
Oh yeah, because of the Part 360, correct? Which is a program that helps South Metro Fire has been driving forward. They're really the originators of this. It's now being brought into other departments in Minnesota. It's a thing to help firefighters deal with the mental strain of being first responders, the things they see, the work they have to do, and to just make sure that we have mental health things, that we can help in suicide prevention, which is a difficulty in emergency responders. It's a significant danger. And so as a result of that, and the move that's been put forward by Chief Jolfs, and also the fire board, which is Mayor Napier and Wendy Berry, and then support from the council, the League of Minnesota Cities gives out 4 awards, I believe, 1 for conceptual and then 3 by size of city. And we got a City of Excellence award for the work that we have done. And by we, I mean Mark Jolfs and the fire board with the help of us to really push that program forward, because it is really revolutionary. It's really important. And hopefully it spreads from here, because I think it's just a really needed thing. And I couldn't be more proud that we got that award. I think it's really says wonderful things about South Metro Fire.
Yeah, I think so too. We were able to recognize the Optimist Club. They formed in 1971, so this is their 50th anniversary. A few members of the Optimist Club came to accept the proclamation for a day for the Optimist Club, so it's September 21st.
Yep.
Will be Optimist Club Day here in West St. Paul. And they've been doing great things for the youth of our community for 50 years, which is really an incredible milestone.
Yeah,
so,
and I have to say, because I've followed that organization, I know people in it, one of the things is they're not attention seeking. You don't hear as much about the Optimist Club. They just do really good work to do good work, and it's wonderful to be able to recognize them, because I think there's a humility there. And maybe we can step up and say, we recognize all the work that you do, even if you aren't going to run out there and wave your hands around and say it. So it's a great organization. It's really an impressive organization.
Yeah.
And then We returned to 2 medical facility CUPs in a building.
Conditional use permits.
Or conditional use permits, yep. In a building adjacent to Signal Hills on the corner of Gorman and Moreland. And there's some complications that were brought forward by the city attorney with one of the 2 locations. I'm not going to go too deep in. If you really want to see it, you can come take a look at it. We went forward with one of the CUPs, which is for autism services. We didn't go forward with the other CUP on the advice of staff and as staff recommended. It looks like we might be able to look at some zoning changes. It's currently zoned in a way where it's really limited in what they can do in that building. I think that probably made sense many years ago when there was a different idea of how development worked. I think we're going to try to open it up so they can move forward with the building with different options for what they can put in there, and they seem very interested in improving the building, and anything we can do to move that along is great. So that's where we're at on that one.
And just to explain a little bit about conditional use permits, because this came up during the meeting. So there was a question about, well, these businesses are all next to each other and that wasn't a problem for the city. Conditional use permits allow us to deviate from zoning laws to allow businesses that wouldn't be allowed under our zoning code to be in those spaces. And so, but for us, that also means that we look at those businesses individually and we say, yes, we think it's okay to have a variance from our zoning code, or no, we don't think it's okay to have a variance from our zoning code. Ultimately, our goal is to align our zoning code with what we want, how we want to see our city grow. And so we've been doing a lot of work on the zoning code and bringing it up to what we want for our 2021 city.
And modern standards, I think, in a lot of ways. And the thing to remember with CUPs is you can't take them lightly because they're carried with the property. And so if you decide that
there's a fire department.
If you decide that you're going to allow this use, it's tied to the property in perpetuity unless it's rebuilt. Maybe we'll take a short break. Yeah.
There we go.
So we had to take a slight pause for our wonderful South Metro Fire Department who had to go help people.
Yep.
Okay, so anyway, we talked about appointments to the Planning Commission, and so this was actually a pretty big conversation in the council meeting. One of the things that we talk about a lot is how we get ward representation on every committee or commission, but particularly I think a lot of us were interested in making sure that we had ward representation in the Planning Commission. Do you want to talk about, as the Planning Commission liaison, do you want to talk about why that matters?
Yeah, and I can just speak to my own personal opinions, and there's difference, and we're going to have more discussion about this. So what was moved today was to accept the application. The mayor has the prerogative to put forward any applicant. He has this commission specific in that it's the mayor's choice who he wants to appoint. And so obviously that was respected tonight. The person who was appointed was brought in.
Liz
Gillen.
Gillen.
Yes, Liz
Thank
Gillen.
you
And
very
at no
much.
point, to be clear, was there ever an issue with that appointment. The bigger question is, ward balance would shift pretty hard in a direction. If we still had a 7-member board, there would be 3 members on the Planning Commission from Ward 3, 3 members from Ward 2, and 1 from Ward 1. And the concern is, and this is my personal opinion, and you'll hear more about this, you'll hear more discussion, because I think there are differences in opinion. I feel about planning the same way some people feel about Parks and Rec, that it really matters for people in a ward to feel like they have a voice at the Planning Commission, much like we have they have a voice with equal representation at the council table. And that seemed like there was some dissension on that, so we'll see where that goes. But the motion was to add 2 seats, which would bring the Planning Commission up to 9, and then to codify language that says we are requiring ward balance. So in other words, with 9 seats, 3 from Ward 3, 3 from Ward 2, 3 from Ward 1. And so we're going to be moving forward on that. The appointment has been made. We have to do an ordinance to do that, specific. And we'll see more on that, I'm sure, quickly, would be my guess. And then, obviously, this would be a good time to encourage people, apply. Apply for commissions if you're interested in the Planning Commission, particularly if you're a Ward 1 resident. But even if you're not, vacancies come up. So if you're in Ward 3, Ward 2, and you want to do it, get your name in there. We love having a huge pool to pick from, because then we can really grab the best possible people. So there's never too many applicants, in my opinion.
And listen, if you decide to apply for a commission or committee, and you put your name down for more than one, we will try to put you on the one that you're best suited for. So even if you apply for planning commission and we aren't able to put you on planning commission right now, also like we'd love to see your name out for other commissions and committees. And if another seat comes open, we will also try to get you on planning commission in the future. So
Please apply.
Yes, please apply.
Especially, we really will need Ward 1 people in the next couple of months. So if you live in Ward 1, we would particularly encourage you to apply for planning commission as soon as possible. We spent some time talking about the 2022 budget.
Yep. And so we looked at the budget. We got an indication of debt repayments over time, which Mayor Napier had requested. So it was great to see that. As always, Char Stark tirelessly puts together this stuff. It gets into every detail you could possibly imagine. And yeah, it's looking at it, and it's a lot of numbers. It's available to you. It shows the right direction and the right trend, I think, for the city. And not in the short term only, but in the long term. I think we're on a path that really is putting us in a better position. After some of the large expenditures that have been made, we're moving in the right direction to drop that debt, get ourselves more solvent in every way, and it's only good for the city to have that financial stability. It helps the rating that we're assigned. It's a big part. Not the most exciting part if you have to look through spreadsheets, but that's why we have Char.
Yeah, that's why she wins awards.
Yeah, that's why she wins awards, exactly.
Yeah, we're always grateful that we have
Yes,
Char.
absolutely.
Before we go, just a couple of things. First of all, there's been some great events at the art park. Just this past weekend, they had donuts at the Granny Donut tables, and they had a concert from my neighbor, Susan Miranda, and Brian Handelin, who played in the park. I'm sure that there will be a lot more events coming up at the art park, so pay attention. They have a Facebook page, so you can follow events at the art park. I was able to go to the Marthaler Bridge dedication yesterday. I just want to say thank you to the family for inviting us from the city to participate in that. It was a big honor to be able to be there with you in the moment that the bridge was dedicated. Also, thank you to Representative Rick Hansen and Senator Matt Klein, who put a lot of work into dedicating the bridge. And I know Julie gave some great history of Marthaler in the council meeting, so maybe she'll
Private Joseph Marthaler enlisted and served and lost his life for our freedom in the Battle of Iwo Jima, and we're very grateful.
Yeah, we're happy to dedicate that bridge to him in his memory and for the family. Upcoming events, open house,
Party
at City Hall.
Promise it won't be boring. There's a band. It's Hot Broccoli, if you've heard them. People will be here. I think I haven't heard of any council representatives that aren't going to be able to make it. I know I'm going to be there. It's from 4 to 7. It's next Thursday,
the 23rd.
The 23rd. And please come down. We'd love to see you. Take a look at what, a lot of things. We can answer questions. We can just meet you, all of that stuff, and staff can meet the whole thing. So please come to that if you'd like to. We'd love to see you.
Yeah. And actually before that, at Garlow Park this Saturday, there's the Glow Dash, which is sponsored by Mendota Heights and South St. Paul, but is in West St. Paul. So it'll be really fun. It's I think a 1.3 mile run. So it's super family friendly. You can sign up through our website. Highly encourage lots of folks to turn out. I'm going to try to bring my kids, so hopefully I'll see you there. I think that's it.
Now we're going to go get rained on for a little bit.
Yes.
And as always, it's been fun. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.
Bye.